I'm often asked what an intuitive conversation is. I explain it by saying it's a dialogue between two people. I share my intuitive vision while engaging another person's inner wisdom. And inner wisdom is just another way of saying intuition, because I believe that we're all intuitive. Now, why would someone want an intuitive conversation? Well, sometimes we need a little support on what's going on in our life. Or other times we're just too close to a specific outcome that we desperately want. And what an intuitive conversation does is provide objectivity to what is going on. So maybe you have a challenge in your life that you just can't get through. Or you have a life lesson that you just don't understand. Or you have some blocks in your life that just can't be dissolved. There are things that happen here in the now that you really need help on, and that's what an intuitive conversation will help. The other reason you might want an intuitive conversation is you really want clarity on what your soul purpose is, really why you're on the planet at this time. So an intuitive conversation really helps you get back on track. It's like if you think about a train that is barreling down the tracks and flips off, it can't get back on the tracks by itself. It needs some help. And that's what an intuitive conversation does. So let's go deeper into what exactly an intuitive conversation is. Again, it's a dialogue between you and me. In that, I practice what I call active listening. I engage my full body, which is all of my senses are on alert to pick up the intuitive cues that you are giving me when you talk. I share my intuitive vision, which are gentle, intuitive knowings, inner knowings that surface when my energy body interfaces with yours. I share my intuitive vision really by giving you impressions, and these impressions could be mental impressions like symbols, images, words, even snippets of songs. They could be emotional, that actual physical manifestations of emotions in my body, in your body, and sometimes they could be actual emotions. At one point I was having a conversation with someone and I was just filled with this incredible anger. And so I turned to that person and I asked them, I said, "Are you angry?" And they said yes. So I was intuitively picking up that real emotion that they were having. It also could be an energetic impression. And by that I mean it could be the color of your aura, it could be the density, or it could be congestion in your aura. It could just be a way to describe what's actually going on in your energy body. And your energy body exists like within 3 to 5 inches of your physical body. It could also be a spiritual impression, and that is where you get into understanding soul purpose, talking about guides, connections with other people, with animals. Just what is your soul contract with another person? So we would discuss that in an intuitive conversation. And it is a conversation, it's not a monologue. So it's ongoing sharing. I speak, you speak, I ask questions, you would ask questions. It really is a total sharing to come to understanding. So I really encourage you to respond with your inner wisdom or your intuition. It's navigating your queries to bring clarity and understanding to the situation. And you don't, I want to be clear about this, you don't need to express your questions verbally. Sometimes those are picked up in your energy body. If you have additional questions or for additional clarity, you may want to ask those. So again, I listen without judgment to what you are saying, and I really encourage you to explore with curious daring what we're surfacing. And so it's a way of, I ask you not to reply with no, but to reply with why not, so that we can really begin to see the possibilities that exist in your life. I'd like to share with you my role in an intuitive conversation, and I really see it as being threefold. I am a facilitator, a guide, and a coach. As a facilitator, I provide gentle, non-judgmental responses and support. I practice non-attachment, so even though I might get an intuitive message, I really don't cling to that. I share it with you and see how it resonates with you. I share my intuitive understandings again, and that might include images, symbols, words. And really, I navigate the queries for you to gain understanding and clarity. I ask you to give me questions so that we can clarify what I'm talking about. And really, then I ask you questions again so we can surface your inner wisdom so that my intuition is connecting with yours. As a facilitator, I don't have the answers. We find those answers together. Now, the second role that I assume is that of a guide. And I do not assume that I have any key to deciphering the intuitive messages or what I am receiving. I really believe that you are the key to that understanding. I am the conduit through which you are going to understand and gain clarity. You are the ultimate cipher, really the translator of the intuitive language that we are speaking during a conversation. I help you discover the truth behind the message, and I may tell you what I believe it means, but ultimately you're the one that decides what it means for you. And as an example, there was a woman that I was in conversation with, and when I was reading her, I told her that I saw at the base of her spine there was a small dragon that was breathing and shooting fire out. I had an understanding of what that might be, but I decided just to share the symbol with her. Through our discussion, she said to me that she was an instructor of Kundalini yoga, and what I was seeing was the Kundalini energy rising from the base of her spine up the spine. And so in that way, I really gave her the power to tell me what that meant for her instead of me coming up with 3 or 4 different things that could mean. So what I tell people is, this is my understanding. How does it resonate with you? What is your understanding? The third role that I take is as a coach. So once key understandings surface, then we begin to process and to create a sustainable plan. How can we move forward, or how can you move forward in your life using the information that you and I have surfaced during the conversation? What I like to say is that we have to find one that works best for you. So it doesn't matter if I think it's the best plan in the world. If it's a plan that you won't follow, then it's not going to work and it's not the best plan. So for example, if you're not supposed to eat chocolate for the rest of your life, but you're a chocoholic, and you say to me, okay, I can do this, Vanessa, and then you go home and instantly fall off the chocolate wagon, that won't work for you. And so really what we do is that the success happens whenever we create that together. It's really about, as a coach, I want you to discover the best plan to put you back on the path of your life purpose. Okay, so just in summary, what is an intuitive conversation? It's 2 people engaging in a dialogue. That means that we are sharing with one another. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. Not one of us overcomes or shares all this information. We are sharing actually together. Both of us are intuitive. That's why you come to a intuitive conversation, and why I'm there, is that we are resonating, our intuition resonates with each other. One is the facilitator, guide, and coach, and that would be me. You bring the questions to gain clarity. They could be actual verbal questions, or they could be energetic questions that I surface from connecting with you. The goal really is to work together, to collaborate, to understand your challenges, your life lessons, and really discover how to realign your life purpose using the best, most sustainable course of action. And so at times we may need to go further, and so we may need to engage in what's called quantum healing. But that's another video.